Presenting Father Maguire, the fat chap in a flat cap. Viewer discretion is advised. Some of what you are about to see may shock you. It may astound you. You may want to see more. Fasten your seatbelts. This could get bumpy. Filmed in Technicolor. Good afternoon, folks. It is I, Father Maguire. It has been a long time since I've done one of these updates like this, so I thought it's about time I did one to let you know what's been going on. So finally, after 5 months of waiting, I've got my driving licence back from the DVLA with approval to do lorry driving. Brilliant, fantastic news. That came last Friday. So I let my current tutor know, the one that I was doing bookkeeping with, because I was only doing that course while I was waiting for my licence to come back and to get approval to be able to do the HGV pathway. So I let my bookkeeping tutor know. I also let the guy know who has been very patiently waiting for me to get my licence back so he could book me in for my theory tests. So I let him know on that day as well, on Friday, and then lo and behold on the Monday he rang me up and said, yep, you know, I've got the funding for you to do your theory tests. When do you want to do them? So I had the choice of Lincoln or Grantham, so I obviously chose Grantham. I know where the one is in Lincoln. I remember going up there before to do theory test for my CBT, I think, and Lincoln's a nightmare for parking. So I've chosen Grantham anyway. So next Thursday, the 7th of July, is the day I go to do my theory test. I go to do the hazard perception test. I also go to do the module 2, which is the case studies test, which is the one, if I'm having issues with any of them, it's the case studies test, to be honest, because it's a big document. I can show you now that that's what I printed off to do with case studies. There's about 90 pages of information in there. Not all of it has seemed to pop up on the questions, but obviously a lot of it has, and I've obviously made my own notes at the front, my own like little crib sheets, so that I can quickly look for things that I think is important to know for the tests. Anyway, I've done that, so I've got that ready. I've got my information up there for studying. I've been practicing the mock tests since the day. Today I got 96 on the theory test, 86 on the hazard perception test, and 82 on the case studies, which is only just passing. So I need to concentrate on the case studies part of it anyway, but that's for next Thursday. So the other thing I'm going to do is, previously on the YouTube channel, I've done individual tests for the theory test, the hazard perception, and the case studies test, so people can just look at them individually. Well, I'm going to do another video of me doing all three, one after another, because that's what I'm going to be doing on Thursday. The theory test, I think you're allowed an hour and a half, and I'm doing it in about half an hour, because a lot of the questions I know off the back of my hand, basically. I don't even need to think about the answers, because they're either common sense or I've answered them that many times already. I know what the answer is. There's still some that I'm a bit unsure of in the case studies one, which is like, you get some odd questions like, if you've got a tail lift on the back of your truck, how do you know if it's been serviced, and how often does it need to be inspected? Well, I need to concentrate on getting them right. The same with having moffats or forklifts on the back of the truck. how often do they need? And I think I got it right today. I'm pretty sure I answered 6 months, and I think it is. But anyway, so that's that. With regards to my hand, um, it's healing very well. It's obviously nearly 3 months since the operation, and you can see that there's no scab in there now. It's just a scar, and I put cream on it every day to get better with the health. The one downside is where my health's concerned this week is I had the phone call from the nurse. Last week was my annual review for my diabetes, so I had blood tests, and then they take a week to get the results back. And then the nurse rings you and lets you know, well, my bloods have gone up again from 74 to 85. And she's basically told me if I don't get it sorted out within 6 months, I'll be on insulin type 1 diabetes. So I've got to sort this out, because that will affect my ability to drive a truck, because if you're on insulin, you know that stuff has to be refrigerated. You can't guarantee getting a truck with a fridge in every time, you know, especially because chances are I'll be agency driving to begin with. So I've got to get this sorted out. I know that I've let myself down by having poor eating habits when I'm type 2. I've done a lot of things that benefit it. Stop smoking. I'm still walking twice a day. You know, I go for 2 walks that total about 1.5 miles. I could do more exercise, I suppose. I was doing aerobics last year when I first got told about this, and lost a lot of weight, but it also hurt me. It injured me. I've got a dodgy ankle on the right side. I know it sounds like an excuse, but there are days that when I did the aerobics, I would not be able to walk properly. I'd be, you know, limping all the way around, and it's not really very good for me in that respect. So I'll have to find something else. But I am doing plenty of exercise, but now I'm properly looking at what diet the diabetic needs to be having. I'm actually, you know, working out when I'm doing my meals how much cholesterol there is in there. Sorry, not cholesterol, carbohydrates, making sure I've got enough protein, and making sure I've got twice as much veg. You know, so the way they say of measuring it is making sure half your plate is veg or salad, a quarter of your plate is the protein, something that will fit in the palm of your hand, and a quarter of the plate is carbohydrate like brown rice or a potato or something. So I'm now starting to contemplate that when I'm preparing my meals. So fingers crossed I'll get that sorted out, and in 6 months when I have more blood tests, it will have gone down. And but the other thing she mentioned as well is that they did a thyroid test. Now I didn't know they did these. It's the first time it's been mentioned to me. So I said, what are you doing that for then? She said, well, it's to see how it's coping with your metabolism and this sort of thing. And I'm just outside the normal range. Normal range for thyroid tests on the scale is 2.7 to 4.5, and I'm at 4.6. So my doctor happened to mention that as well. They're not concerned at the moment, but they're obviously going to be monitoring it. So, you know, I mean, health-wise, that's about it for me. George is well. He's down on his chair. We don't tend to sit in the window much anymore, because I tend to go on the computer now to do the mock exams, so I'm not sitting in the chair. And whether it's because he can't jump up the back to get in there, I don't know. But he sits on his bed most of the day now. What else? Tomorrow, I am going to the 2022 Truck Expo at Stoneleigh Park in Warwickshire. I've been umming and ahhing. I've had it booked for several weeks because it's free. It's free to go, so all I've got to do is pay for my fuel and take a pack up for myself. George can't go, unfortunately, so he's going to be left here, you know, on his own devices for the day. I'm not going to be too long. I'll set off early enough to get there for when it opens, and then I'll do my walk round and probably send the drone up for a bit and get some footage like that, and then I'll come back. And you know, I've already tried him on his own for 8 hours, and he's been good. So as long as I walk him before I go, and obviously give him another good walk when I get back, then I think he'll be fine. So yeah, that's tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. It's the very first one. There's not been a truck expo at this place before. There's going to be a lot of lorry manufacturers there. You can drive certain lorries if you book it in advance, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to this time because they obviously need your license and stuff, and I'm not at the point where, you know, I've actually passed anything, and I wouldn't want to affect anything by, you know, sort of rushing. But I will be taking a lot of pictures. I'm getting my gear ready, my mobile phone that's filming me now. I'm getting it ready with my selfie stick to take that. I've got my little digi camera, my little Samsung there. I'm taking that, taking the drone. So, and I should be there for a few hours at least, walking around, which would be good exercise for me. And it's good to get me away from the house for a day as well, because I do tend to stay here a lot. Bar that, there's not really a lot else to tell you, folks. I've been doing the bookkeeping course. They've confirmed that I can continue to do the bookkeeping course even though I'm doing the HGV pathway, but I'm delaying it because I don't want to have to revise for that, as well as doing revision for the theory and the case studies tests. So I want to get that. So the woman in the office there as well that's dealing with it isn't back till the 8th of July, which is good because obviously I go for my tests on the 7th. So then I should be able to book myself in for the first exam, first part of the bookkeeping exams, and get that done after, because I think if I pass all my theory tests, I'm then just going to get booked in to do the practical, which I don't need to revise for in the meantime, so I can then go back to doing bookkeeping until I do my practical part. So yeah, it's all right. I'm feeling a bit more positive in myself. When the nurse rang, I'll be honest, I had a really bum morning, as my mum would tell you, because I was quite upset about I'm thinking to myself, I'm sitting here thinking, I haven't really got a lot of pleasure left in life, you know. I don't drink alcohol, I never really have. I've never enjoyed it, not since, I tried it when I was 18 and that, didn't really like it. I gave up smoking last year, and it's been, in fact, it'll be a year on. I know it's next weekend. Next weekend on Sunday, it'll be a year since I stopped smoking. Just quit. Didn't go to vapes. Didn't have patches. Didn't get any support. Nothing. Just stopped. And I haven't cheated at all. So I'm quite proud of that achievement. You know, because I was smoking for a long time, 30 plus years on and off, and mostly on. But yeah, that's an achievement. I'm starting to lose weight again. I've lost 4 pounds in the last 3 weeks because I'm exercising. Well, I haven't stopped exercising really, but I'm obviously cutting other things out of my diet that I was sort of cheating a little bit. It's like I'd have an ice cream once a day or something when it was too warm, because temperature was very high and it was hard to get to sleep at night, but an ice cream cooled me down. So I've knocked all that on the head. I've got nothing in at all, apart from the food that I need to eat to get through to then start cooking healthier. I'm not throwing it away or anything. I gave Mum some when she was here on Wednesday, some jam and marmalade out the fridge, because I'm not having bread anymore, because bread for me leads to crisps. Crisps aren't very good for you. So yeah, I'm not going to waffle on too much, folks. Keep an eye out for my videos. I do appreciate you watching them. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That's good for the algorithms. If you don't already subscribe to the channel, please consider doing so. The next video will be for the Truck Expo. I'm going to try, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it up on Sunday, because I've got my good friend Millie coming over for the day. We're going to watch some films and chill out, and that'll be good. I ain't seen her for a long time. We need to catch up. So I would think I'll probably get the editing done on Monday and get the video up sometime on Monday of the Truck Expo, which would be good because, drone footage, and there's going to be pictures and videos and all sorts. So thank you ever so much for being here, folks. I do appreciate it. Take care for now. Father Maguire signing out.